What's going on, YEGnation? We're back. We're here in Ward 4 at the Clearview Rec Center with Mr. Rocco Caterina. Rocco, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks so much for giving us this opportunity.
Yeah, you bet. So tell YEGnation here a little bit about yourself and what you're hoping to bring to the council.
So actually, for the last 10 years, I've worked in a councillor's office as an executive assistant. In that time, my sole focus was really engaging citizens at every age level. When they had a concern, when they had a problem, it was really through myself where I had to go to administration, work through existing policy, try to find solutions to those concerns, and that's what I really want to bring to the council table. 10 years of conversations with thousands of citizens from all walks of life, and I really want to bring that voice, that perspective to the table.
Excellent. So as we all know, Ward 4 is a very busy race here. One of the biggest races in the city here, second to the mayoral alone here. What do you think that you bring to the table a little bit differently than the rest of the candidates?
Well, what really separates myself from the rest is that 10 years of ground level experience. I call it the operational experience at the table. No one knows where policy breaks down. No one knows where to fix that policy better than myself. Like I said previously, it's really been working 10 years at that existing policy. I never had a chance to showcase myself. It wasn't myself who was influencing policy, but I feel now, after having all those conversations, we can really start to form policy the way that works for us on the ground level. I'm very much a proponent of bottom-up governance. We have a knack here in the city to do top-down decision making, where we just kind of come up with an idea and then we kind of flow it down to the bottom, and we basically say, that's okay, too bad, so sad. If you guys don't like it, we kind of work through it. More trial by fire that way. I'd rather us, especially in the planning perspective, slow down a little bit, get some better engagement going on, really get to know what the issues are, and start to do that decision making from the bottom, that grassroots decision making.
Excellent here. So with that, what are you planning on focusing on with your campaign in particular? What kind of areas of Ward 4 end of the city are you looking to focus on?
Well, Ward 4 in the next 30 years is actually going to be Edmonton's economic driver. With Horse Hill, with the Edmonton Energy Technology Park, we have an opportunity for 90,000 residents, 80,000 jobs, and I think especially for our younger demographics, certainly our YEGnation viewers, that's the important thing, is really having those jobs. They come out of high school, out of post-secondary, that's what I'm hearing at the doors. They want those quality jobs, they want those quality positions first and foremost, and we have an opportunity here to really showcase that. It's been something that we've been working towards for the last 10 years. Downtown and Southwest has really gotten the brunt of our public and private investment, but in the next 10 years it's really going to change. Southwest has about 10 years of available land to develop on, and 10 years in terms of long-term city planning is not a long time. In the next 10, 20, 30, 40 years, the shift is actually going to come to Northeast. We're going to see a lot more public investment. We're going to see a lot more private investment. We've seen that momentum start to happen now. I mean, look at what happened with Londonderry Mall. 10 years ago, if you asked anybody in Ward 4, would we see Londonderry Mall revitalized? The long and short answer was no. But now we have the $150 million injection by the Londonderry Group. Simons came to the table, and for Simons to invest in Northeast Edmonton, a second store in Northeast Edmonton really does, I think it changes the little bit of stigma that we have in Northeast Edmonton, gives us some more confidence, certainly from the population here, but I think what it signalized to other investors looking into Northeast Edmonton is that, this is going to be worth your investment time here.
Absolutely. It's always good to see better things in Edmonton come up here, businesses and landmarks alike here, and we're excited to see some of that stuff come up in Ward 4. We've had a lot of talk about that. So with that here, and moving a little bit into one of the other things we like to focus on with YEGnation here, how do you see Ward 4 accommodating with the general and cultural diversity of the rest of Edmonton?
Well, there's just such a mix here. It's it's an economic diversity mixture here. It's culturally diverse. I mean, I think that's kind of around Edmonton, but particularly in Ward 4, we see kind of everybody here, which is great. I often tell people at the doors, Ward 4's biggest strength is our modesty, but it's also our biggest weakness, and I'll kind of go into that. So why it's our biggest strength is that modesty actually allows us to kind of live with everybody, right? Doesn't matter if you're low income, high income, mid income, doesn't matter your sexual orientation, we just embrace each other. But it's also our weakness because we're not the loudest voice at the governing table, right? We tend to say, oh, okay, this was the decision, we're modest, we don't have a loud voice, and that's what I want to bring to the table, is that loud voice. We're proud to live here. We embrace our stigma. We're north side, right? And we embrace that, but what that does is again, that modesty really turn away some investors. We want to get them proud here as well. Yeah.
Excellent. The very last thing here, what does Ward 4 mean to you? Why are you running for Ward 4?
32 years I've grown up in this area, 25 in McLeod. 7 years ago I purchased my first home in Brittenell. What really sparked this for me was my time in office there, to really show that Northeast doesn't really get its fair nod. With all due respect to the current incumbent, he was great. I have lots of respect for Ed. His ground level game is just second to none. His community involvement is second to none. But I want to bring a louder voice to the table. I'm passionate about this area. I'm a little bit combative. I want people to have the confidence that they have a representative that is actually going to speak for them, that it's not going to be somebody on the sidelines, it's not going to be a wallflower, that I'm there to represent you, I'm there to represent all walks of life, and we are going to get stuff done here in Ward 4.
Excellent. Thank you very much for that. With that here, is there any other closing points that you'd like to tell people in your ward and the people of YEGnation?
YEGnation, our youth vote is so important. Never tell yourself your voice does not matter. Your voice here at the municipal level is the most powerful. You can affect the most change into, that stigma around young voters that we just don't vote. We have to change that. Get out, get involved, make sure your voice is at the table. That youth perspective brings something different to the table. It's fresh perspective, it's new energy. We need that here, and we need that in Ward 4.
Excellent. Thank you so much here, Rocco, for joining us here in Ward 4.
Thank you so much.
We look forward to seeing the rest of us here.
I appreciate
We're going to
it.
be talking to more people. You guys heard it here. Vote. Do not forget to vote Monday, October 16th. Thank you very much here. We'll see you guys next time.
Thank you.